We're here today to review The Traitor's Kiss by Erin Beaty. The Traitor's Kiss was released in 2017, and I'm going to give you the premise, just so you can hear it if you have never heard of the book. It says, an obstinate girl who will not be married, a soldier desperate to prove himself, a kingdom on the brink of war. With a sharp tongue and an unruly temper, Sage Fowler is not what they'd call a lady, which is perfectly fine with her. Deemed unfit for marriage, Sage is apprenticed to a matchmaker and tasked with wrangling other young ladies to be married off for political alliances. She spies on the girls and the soldiers escorting them. As the girls' military escort senses a political uprising, Sage is recruited by a handsome soldier to infiltrate the enemy ranks. The more she discovers as a spy, the less certain she becomes about whom to trust, and Sage becomes caught in a dangerous balancing act that will determine the fate of the kingdom. With secret identities and a tempestuous romance, The Traitor's Kiss is Jane Austen with an espionage twist. I would completely agree with that. I would say that it's espionage with a Jane Austen twist. Really, if you're a fan of YA, young adult adventure and romance, and maybe too many times you read it and you go, oh my god, there's insta-love and they're just swooning over each other the whole time and it's just too much romance, this book really strikes a perfect balance between the action and the adventure, but also the strategy, and also the world building, the culture, the bigness of the scope, but really the characters. Now, I'm trying to really condense this because this book was really fantastic. If you're in the market for any of these, whether it's the romance or the action adventure, the espionage, the whole the secret identities thing, or an espionage girl, a girl that's spying on a lot of things. I just have nothing bad to say about this. It was absolutely fantastic in every way because of the balance of all of these elements, but it begins with the character. I think Sage Fowler is a fantastic character because she's really smart, and a lot of times we know young adult characters are not the smartest in the world. And they're tasked with really big, important decisions, and just, it just all falls apart. It can get really bad. But I do believe that one of the things that makes the scope of this story and the scope of the end game and the third act, where everything feels really intense and really, really serious, is because Erin Beaty has done a wonderful job with presenting everything through the story as important. So when you're a smart character and you think about things, you weigh the options and you weigh, the point and the balance and, the effort, and all of these things go into Sage's mind. She's always thinking about things. It makes everything seem important. So even if it's a little thing like a little interaction with a character, or she's seeing something and writing it down, all of these things are important. So by the end, it's just this big culmination of everything coming together. And I have to say that I really appreciated that because to contrast some YA books, they just don't have the importance in the events. And they make you think, oh my god, these big things are happening and I'm supposed to really feel they're more important than they are. But because they spend so much meaningless kind of time in between these moments, it's just supposed to be big twists and then nothing, and then a big twist and then nothing. Hunger Games does this a lot, where it's just a lot of meandering around. I feel that this book, because it's doing so much, really like the kind of the culmination of the plot. It really is like the roller coaster where it just tick 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 tick, and then you're down and you're like, oh wow, this is happening. I think that was really, really well done because again, there is a sense of these kingdoms at war. There's this political turmoil. There's a military strategy. There's all these soldiers and all these brides to be married. There's all these little mini conflicts and just so many little things that go into each chapter, and everyone in the story is important, and that's really important to know. I'm saying important a lot because everything here is important. There's just no wasted time, there's no wasted space, there's no wasted interactions, and you really do care about Sage and what she's doing. And there is a very, very cool twist to the romance. I'll just call it a twist to the romance because it kind of hit me a lot later than it should have. I should have seen it coming. There's this mistaken identities kind of thing, this kind of using different names. It was very, very sneaky, and I really appreciate that. I appreciate the effort that goes into making a story about these matchmakers and the brides to be married being escorted by the soldiers and all these things of like, you know, oh, we're going to use this double bluff, and then we're going to spy on these people, but we're really spying on these people, but we're writing notes about other people, and it all comes out in the end, and it all makes sense, and it all works together, and it is really exciting. I have to say that. It is really exciting. And the romance does a really great job of meaning something. There's like stakes, there's cost, there's, again, importance. So that it's not just some frivolous thing, or it's not just some like, oh, you're hot, and I'm hot, and we're together. It's not like that at all. There's a tremendous weight upon the characters because there's a whole lot going on. And the book does a wonderful job of making these characters really care about what's going on. Instead of like, well, I care, but the characters don't seem to, they seem to forget that there's a war going on kind of thing, which does happen. These characters are really deeply invested into the whole structure and the whole plot. And that's, I can't stress that enough. As a writer, I'm always like, I want to make sure that my characters care. So you're supposed to care because they care. You're like, this is important to them, so it's important to me. Erin Beaty did a wonderful job of that, because that's really difficult to do. I have to say that. That's really difficult to do. Too many times we just are almost supposed to, you know what's going on. And she does a great job of explaining everything properly through the character's point of view. You can see that certain characters care about other characters, so that makes us care about them more. It gives everybody value. And I just think that it's really rare to find a YA this good that really surprised me with all that it's doing. I have to say that I love the romance. The action was very intense and really purposeful. And not to get too off on the world building, but this was, I felt that there was a very sense of Englishness to it, kind of a colonial era maybe. You know, there's gunpowder, there's not armor and chivalry, it's more the gunpowder, you know. But that also added to, you know, if you think about the uniforms and the kind of the pomp and circumstance of, you know, like a cavalry charge and sabers and, you know, the command structure. Again, that's just something that adds weight and balance to, you know, Alex and those guys and all those characters, and the generals and the army. Again, there's just, everything is really well done in its sections. All these sections are put together. They're a real living world where, you know, it has histories, they have social orders. Again, I just think everything is really, really well done, but it starts with Sage and her intelligence and her really studying everything and noticing things and caring about things and making smart decisions, you know, and being heroic and taking big risks. I mean, that's a part of it, but those are things that like really make sense in the moment because so much work has been done in the first and second act to establish all of these things. So I hope all that made sense. If you read the book, I bet it does, because the book is awesome and you should read it. And I'm currently reading The Traitor's Ruin. That's the second book right now, so I will have a review of that as well. But I just want to review The Traitor's Kiss. Great title. Come on. Great title, The Traitor's Kiss. Yeah, read it and find what that's all about, what The Traitor's Kiss is, what it's actually about. Please tell me if you've read the trilogy, if you like it. Again, I'm on the second book, and yeah, I'm excited with where it's going. It's going somewhere I didn't think it was, which I'm really happy about. I'm very happy that it's doing what it's doing. It's really compelling and really engaging, just like this was in a different way. So I hope all that makes sense. Please check out my other reviews on this channel. I do book and movie, film, game reviews. I need to do more of those. So yeah, if you have anything that you would like to know, if I have thoughts on, please let me know. And I'll keep trying to do these as much as I can. I do have another channel, so I do everything on that. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful day. See you later.